I'm Abhishek Singla. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. In today's video, we are diving into something crucial for every business website owner, ensuring your website is compliant with GDPR and other local privacy laws. That's right, we are talking about cookie policies. We'll be using Cookiebot, a powerful tool that helps you manage cookies on your site and stay compliant with data protection regulations. The best part? We are doing it all without writing a single line of code. Yes, we'll be using Google Tag Manager to make the process simple and accessible to everyone. And here's something even better. You don't have to solely depend on automated cookie tracking and script tracking from Cookiebot. We'll show you how to control which scripts will track or collect data and which won't, all from within Google Tag Manager. This way, you have a complete control over your website's data collection. And this way, you are 100% compliant with GDPR and any other laws that are applicable to you. All right, so let's check our infrastructure and how we are going to implement the Cookiebot consent banner on our website. So what I have done is I have made a sample Webflow website. This is a sample Webflow website, so there's nothing too special about it. It's just the first template that I picked up from Webflow. It can be any website that you have. You just need Google Tag Manager installed on the website, and therefore you will be able to use Cookiebot on it via Google Tag Manager and configure all your scripts. The second is I created a Google Tag Manager account. In this Google Tag Manager account, I have two tags that are being triggered on this website from this Google Tag Manager account, which is Google Analytics and Google Ads Remarketing, along with Conversion Linker. Let's go into the third item that we have, which is the Cookiebot. So we created a free account on Cookiebot. With the free account, you get access to a certain amount of traffic. In case your website generates traffic more than that, you should definitely invest in a paid account at Cookiebot. Uh, we go into Cookiebot Manager here. It will configure your Cookiebot account, and then you will reach this particular page where you will have to start configuring your Cookiebot. So in order to configure your Cookiebot, the first thing you need to do is add the domain name here. Let's add the domain name here. We click on save. The second setting that we need to make sure we are taking care of is we click on manual here, because we'll be configuring and controlling ourselves from Google Tag Manager which scripts are going to get fired and which scripts are not. So let's save these settings and go into our Google Tag Manager and start configuring our Cookiebot. First thing we need to do is go into our admin and container settings, and we need to enable the consent overview so we are able to see which tags have consent attached to them and which does not. Basically, with this button, I'm able to see the consent has not been configured for these tags. Let's start configuring the consent for them. So first of all, we need to add Cookiebot to our Google Tag Manager account. So I go into the community template gallery in Google Tag Manager and I search Cookiebot, and this is the first link that pops up, and I will add Cookiebot to the workspace. In this Cookiebot tag, I just need to add the Cookiebot ID. You will find your Cookiebot ID in your scripts under domain group ID. Let's copy it and put our Cookiebot ID here. I will trigger Cookiebot on consent initialization. Basically, the first thing on all pages is when a consent is asked from the visitors. I will also add some default consent state. So I will leave this blank, but if you want to configure it according to certain geographical locations, you can do that. So I'm going to give functionality storage as granted and analytics storage as granted, and keep the marketing data as denied. Let's add this, and I'm going to name this Cookiebot. We also need to add a trigger for the Cookiebot consent update, which will be a custom event, and the event would be cookie consent update. I'm going to name this as the trigger name as well. Once I save this, now we have our Cookiebot configured. We have our trigger for Cookiebot configured cookie consent update, and here are the tags that we need to add additional consent settings to now. Let's add additional consent settings to our tags here. So I'll go into Google Analytics. The first tag, I'm going to go into advanced settings, consent settings, and require additional consent to for this tag to fire. I will add analytics storage as this is Google Analytics script. And I'm going to save this. The next is Google Ads remarketing. I'm going to go into advanced settings again for this one. Consent settings, require additional consent. And this will be ad storage or ad personalization actually. And I'm going to save this. Conversion linker is again ad personalization. I'm going to add consent settings as ad personalization. And I'm going to save this. Once I've added all of these configuration, I'm going to click submit and publish these changes. Now we have all of the configuration for Cookiebot done. So now that our changes are live, let's go ahead and test this out. We'll go into Google Tag Assistant and put our website's URL and click on connect. This will open up our Google Tag Assistant and it will show that we are connected. So before we give any Cookiebot consent, we go into Google Tag Assistant and we can check the only tags that have been fired so far is Google Analytics because this is the default stage tag and the Cookiebot CMP, which is content initialization. We can also see in our consent settings that the current state of consent is denied, denied, denied for add, 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 and granted, 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 granted for analytics, functionality, personalization, and security storage. And here, when we will give our consent, for example, I will just give all of these selection or allow selection. When I've given this consent, our tag manager should already start firing Google Analytics and the rest of the scripts. So let's go into summary. Let's update this. Now, as you see, Google Analytics, Google Ads remarketing, conversion linker, all of them started getting fired based on how I gave the permission here for the tags to be fired. If I withdraw my consent and I go back to refreshing my website, let's see if this changes again. Now that I'm connected, only Cookiebot CMP is fired. Even Google Analytics is not fired because statistics is not given. Let's change our consent only to statistics and allow selection. And I will refresh this and let's see Google Analytics is now fired. Let's change our consent again and this time I will allow marketing as well and preferences as well and allow selection. I'll refresh this and now the rest of the scripts should start getting fired as well. And that's it. You've now set up Cookiebot on your website, ensured compliance with GDPR and other local privacy laws, and taken full control of your data tracking with Google Tag Manager. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tutorials and tips on managing your website effectively. If you have any questions or need further assistance, drop a comment below and I'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.